Hello everyone. In this video, I bring you a compilation of all the videos I have made about Hisense televisions with VIDAA operating system, so that you can have everything in one video and access each procedure more easily. So, we begin. In this video we are going to see how it works and what you can do with a Hisense Smart TV with VIDAA operating system. Let's start by looking over what is the main screen of the Smart TV. In the first line, we have the applications that we have installed. By default, in this particular model, or in the 6.0 operating system, there are a lot of applications installed by default. In fact, as you can see, in this line we already have quite a few applications. And if we go to the right-hand side of everything, apart from the fact that we go over what the App Store is, there you have it. From here we can download more applications. Now we can see it as well. If we go to the right, we'll get to where it says More Apps. If we click it, we enter above those that are the favorites or down to More Apps, where we have even more applications installed. In this operating system, we have available virtually all video-on-demand applications, especially the most used, such as Netflix, Disney Plus or Prime Video. What we are not going to be able to install, in this case, on Hisense TVs with this operating system, with VIDAA, is going to be HBO Max, okay? Because it doesn't have the license, so we're not going to have this application available. As I said before, from this icon we can enter the App Store, and from here is where we can download and install new applications for the TV. But, as I said, the television is quite complete, it has many pre-installed applications and we have practically nothing to install from the store. The useful applications are quite scarce, and those that there are, the truth is that they are of little use to us. Returning to the main screen, if we scroll down, we have, above all, recommendations of video-on-demand applications. Pluto TV, we have this from Disney recommendations, Adventure for Kids, Fall in Love with Pluto TV, Movie Series in Prime Video, Free Movies in Plex. Well, I mean here, if we scroll down, it's non-stop video-on-demand app recommendations, I mean, non-stop, all the time, it's all recommendations. So the main page is simply two sections, let's say. The top part with what is the line of applications, which is what we have seen, and from there down, all recommendations for movies or series. We begin to analyze the top bar of the Smart TV, where we have different things. First, in the magnifying glass, we can simply do a search for both TV applications and some settings. The second icon is the Inputs icon. From this section is where we can select which input we want to display on the screen. We can choose from TV, which are the conventional channels, through the 4 HDMI that we have available, the AV, Euro connector, and also the two sharing options. On the one hand, screen sharing, which you have a video explaining how to share the screen, I leave it up here. This video I already did, to share the screen of our phone to the TV, and also share content. If what we want is not to share the screen, just share some video from another device. And finally, we have the connection guide, which is nothing more than electronic instructions inside the TV. The next section we have is quite dense, since it is about the TV settings. In the first section, under Picture, we can change the TV picture mode depending on what we are going to watch. We have different modes, such as Standard, Cinema, Night Cinema, Dynamic, Sports. That is to say, depending on the content that we are going to put, we will be able to put a mode or another so that the parameters of the TV are configured automatically for that type of content. In addition, below, in Picture Mode Settings, we can manually move all the parameters and set them much more in detail. We can move brightness, contrast, saturation. That is, we can make a much more personalized configuration of each of the modes. The sound section is quite similar to the image section, but on the subject of audio. We also have different sound modes, depending on the content we are going to see, as you are seeing, and we could also, from here, enable or disable Dolby Atmos. The last option in the sound section is speakers, where we can select where we want the audio to come out of the TV. By default, it will come out through the TV speaker, but if we had something connected by optical or Bluetooth, we could also select it. We continue with the network section, where we will be able to configure the internet of the television. We will be able to configure it by Wi-Fi or cable. Perform connection tests. Then we have these two options that you are seeing here, red wake on wireless and wake on LAN. It means that both wired and Wi-Fi, the TV is kept in a constant standby so that, if we have the TV connected to any voice assistant, whether it's Google Home or Alexa, that we can turn the TV on after we've turned it off. If these options are turned off, then the TV, when we turn it off, will lose the connection, then it will not be able to turn on again through a voice assistant. Finally, comment on this also very important section, which is where the Bluetooth is located and from where we can manage and connect and disconnect devices via Bluetooth, either speakers or headphones. We continue with the channel section, which here does not have much history. It is simply to manage the TV channels, move or delete them. The next section we have is accessibility. This section is totally focused on people who have any kind of disability, no matter how small, both visual and auditory. From here we will be able to change any type of visual adjustment. As you can see, we can put a menu of high contrast so that it is seen better, transparencies, we can select the type of audio, improvement of the dialogues, the subtitles. From here we have different options to improve all this accessibility issue. We continue with the systems section, where we have quite basic things, but also some quite important things. The first options, time, timer, system pin, parental control, language. Here it is not necessary to comment anything, because it is nothing more than the time, a timer, set a pin, set parental control. Okay, it has absolutely no history. Here, in the voice service section, is where we will configure our voice assistant, either any of these three that you are seeing on the screen. The three are fully compatible and we can control the TV through these three assistants. We continue with one of the important options of the system section, which is HDMI and CEC. This section controls the issue of HDMI. When I connected the PlayStation 5 and I started to play, I realized that the games did not accept HDR, nor VRR, nor let me play at 120 Hz, despite being connected to one of the 2.1 ports of the TV. And it is because once we have connected the console, we have to come here, to this section, and change the HDMI format. As you can see, standard format comes as standard. Now it does not let me change it because I do not have an HDMI connected. I do not have the Play connected right now, but in case of having it connected, it would let us change it, and instead of standard format we have to put advanced format. When we change it from standard format to advanced format, the HDMIs kind of open up and let in all the power of the console, so we will be able to use all its features. In this section, finally, we also have the CEC, which will allow us to control devices that are connected via HDMI with the TV remote control. We continue with a section also quite important, which is the advanced configuration. From here we can do pretty basic things like changing the name of the TV, enable or disable the screensavers, and, for example, something that I really like is to change the input labels. We will be able to put the name that we want to each one of the entrances. And to finish with the settings, in support service we simply have the system information, network connection signal information or operating system version, and below, something important in this section, is the system update, since from here we can enable or disable automatic updates or do manual searches for updates to always keep the TV updated. And now, to finish this section, below we have the option to reset the TV settings in case we want to leave it as the day we bought it. Once we have seen this, as you have seen, it has been quite dense, we move on to the next icon, which is the notifications. From here we can choose which notifications we want to receive. In this case you can select or disable all of them. It doesn't matter, they will simply be notifications that appear at the top right every time something is installed, that there is an update, that there is something new. You can leave, if you want, the system messages, and, well, if you want, the news, but let's go with the system messages would be enough. From the following icon you can create an account in Life. It is not necessary to download applications, but well, if you want to have a more personalized TV, you can create an account. And finally, now yes, to finish, in the icon on the right side we have the voice assistants. As we have seen before in the settings, this is a shortcut to the same section. Everyone. In this video we are going to learn how to install and uninstall applications on a Hisense Smart TV with VIDAA operating system. To install an application we have to go down to the applications bar, the one we have on the main page of the Smart TV, and then we go to App Store. Once we are inside the App Store, we select which application we want to install. In this case I don't care, I'll install any application, because here from Kids, The Adventures of Omnum. We are going to install this application. We give him above and where it indicates to install, we simply press and there appears the application. It has been installed correctly and appears at the end of the row of applications. So once installed, we go backwards, we leave the store, we go to More Apps or More Applications, and if we go inside, as you can see here the Omnum application has already been installed. We could open it without any problem. There you have it, there we have the application already installed. Let's go out and now we are going to uninstall it. To do the uninstall we have to come to this same screen, where it says More Apps. From here, remember we have come from the main bar to the right of all More Apps, we go to the Omnum application that we just installed and what we have to do is hold down the OK button, the center button we have to keep pressed until we get these two options. Sort will be to move the application by this panel and then we have the option Delete. If we want to uninstall it then we click on Delete and as you see the application disappears. I have to comment that we can only do this with applications that are not pre-installed. The TV already has many pre-installed applications as you are seeing in any of these. If we click on it, we do the continuous pressing to uninstall it, it will only allow us to move it, we will not be able to uninstall it. This can only be done with applications that we install ourselves and not with applications that come pre-installed on the TV. Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn how to configure Amazon Alexa with our Hisense TV and in that way be able to control it through voice commands. Once we are in the main menu of our television Smart TV, to begin the pairing we will have to go to the top bar of the Smart TV. In this bar we will find icons such as Search, Settings, or Notifications. But the one that interests us in this case is the one we have on the far right, the one you see that has a microphone drawn with 3 lines. Once you locate the icon, if you click on it we will access the assistant selection. If, for example, this icon does not appear in your case, you can also access it from Settings. If we go to the Settings we'll press, go down to the System section and within System you access where it indicates Voice Service. From here you can access the same menu that we have seen before. In either case, once you get to this menu, you go over Amazon Alexa, click to the right and click on where it says Configure Alexa. At this time we are offered 2 different ways to link our TV with our Amazon Alexa account. The first, which is the one on the left, works through the QR code. What we will have to do here is take our mobile phone, the one we have previously linked to Alexa, that is, the one with which we normally use the Amazon Alexa application, open the camera and focus on the QR code. And on the other hand, if we do not want to use the phone's camera, we can also do it with the option that appears on the right, in which we have to enter that web page and once we enter, write the code that you are seeing on the screen, but hey, let it appear on your screen, not this one. In this case, to be simpler and faster, I am going to do the QR code method, so we pick up the phone, focus on the QR and click on the web page that appears. As you can see, we will have to log into our Amazon account with our credentials and once we have entered them, as you can see, the same code that appears on television appears. We are going to let you continue. Now, as you can see, it appears to us that VIDAA Voice TV wants to access our Alexa services. We are going to click Allow and as you can see, it tells us that the registration has been completed and on the television the screen we had before has already changed. Now, what television does require us to do is have a VIDAA operating system account. So if you already have it, you have done it with the initial configuration of the TV, you set the account and if not, then you create a new account. Once we created the account in the VIDAA operating system, the next screen, once the session has started, is the one you see here, which tells us that Alexa is completely ready to be used with the TV. Once you have the voice assistant fully configured, we will have up to 3 different ways to access Alexa services. You have the first 2 fully assured, since one of them is by pressing the microphone button on the remote control. Alexa, tell me a joke.
What is a ghost doing in a laundry? To look handsome.
As you see, this is the festival of humor. The second way will be through the mobile phone, which if you have done the configuration means that you have it installed and working. And finally, the third way, which I find most comfortable, is to have an Alexa Echo speaker. Since in this case you can completely ignore both the remote control and the mobile phone to use the television using the commands. Now, once we have seen the configuration, we are going to try to give some basic commands to the TV to see how far the Alexa theme can go with the TV commands. Alexa turns off the television.
Okay.
Well, as you can see, he turned off the television without any problem. I have named it television so that I can recognize perfectly what it is, because it was called Hisense VIDAA TV Smart. Change it, give it a simple name. I have named it television. Once you turn off the television, an important step is to know if you turn it on. Alexa, turn on the TV.
Okay.
Perfect, as you can see it turned it on without any major problem. It wasn't instantaneous, but hey, it's normal, you have to power the TV. But even so, with the television in standby, a little bit of energy is saved to be able to listen to Alexa and turn on. So on that side, perfect. Now, what we are going to do is try to open some applications, to see if Alexa is able to do it. Alexa, open Netflix on the television. Okay, in this case it hasn't done anything. Alexa, open Prime Video on the television. No reaction either. Alexa, open Disney Plus on the television. Okay, well, what are apps? It seems that it is not able to open them. I do not really know the reason, but it seems that it is not compatible with the opening and closing of applications. Yes, as you can see, it has turned on and off the TV, but the applications do not react. Let's try, for example, the volume. Alexa, turn the TV volume to 20.
Okay.
As you can see, it can do that, move the volume. And now as a last test I can think. For example, try to switch between the different input sources. Alexa, open the HDMI 3 on the television.
Okay.
Well, as you can see it does that too, it changes between the different input sources. So as a brief summary, we will be able to turn the television on and off directly with our voice, we will be able to raise and lower the volume of the TV, we will be able to move between the different input sources, we will be able to ask Alexa for things like tell us a joke or any nonsense, but what has left us a little hanging is the issue of opening applications, which I have not been able to do.
Hello, good morning everyone. Today guys, we are going to see how to transfer the image from our Android phone to our Hisense TV with VIDAA U5.0 operating system. In this case, I am going to do the image transfer from an Android phone with a Pocophone X3 Pro. To do the image sharing, we will have to go to the top, as you can see, where are the input modes, where we select if we want HDMI or AV or TV, and here on the left we have screen sharing. Once we give it, we get the steps we have to follow to connect the mobile to the TV. As you can see in the TV, actually do not have to do absolutely nothing, simply tells us that we have both the mobile and the TV connected to the same network, either by cable or Wi-Fi, and then from the mobile we already make the connection. In this case, in the Pocophone, we will have to go up here to the quick options, and on this side to the broadcast option. So we give the option to issue, we put that is looking for, we find my main TV at home and down, which is called living room, which is the name I have put to the Hisense. We give the TV, just click on it. We wait a few seconds for the image to transfer. And as you can see, there it is. We already have what is the cell phone transferred to the screen, and we can handle it perfectly and transfer it or mirror any type of image from the phone to the TV. Well, as you can see, it is a super simple process. It has been super easy. The only thing I have to say and tell you is that not all phones will be able to do it. That is, with the Pocophone X Pro, yes, I have been able to because it has Miracast, has the ability to transmit the image, but other phones will not be able to. Also, on the other hand, in the Pocophone, as you see, it was called Broadcast, which is the option. But in other phones, for example, in Samsung, it is called Smart View. In LG, I think it is called Screen Sharing. That is, each brand, that option calls it in a way. You will have to look for which option is yours. And anyway, there are phones that, as I said, do not have it, do not have the option. So if you do not see any option that is called that way or similar, you will not be able to do it. Do not look for more options because it is the only option. And if you do not have it, you will have to go to other items such as a Google Chromecast. Hello. Good morning, everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to connect a Bluetooth device, either a speaker or a headset, to our Hisense TV with VIDAA UV operating system. In this case, we are going to connect a JBL Extreme wireless speaker, but well, actually we can connect whatever we want, either speaker or headphones. To do this, the first thing I recommend is that you turn on the device. In this case, I'm going to turn on the speaker, the JBL Extreme. I'm going to leave it on, that's it, and then I'm going to search for Bluetooth. I'm going to give it the Bluetooth button to start searching. Subsequently, from the TV, we go to the settings wheel, enter, go to the network section, and down where it says Bluetooth. The first thing to do is to have Bluetooth enabled, of course, and then go to device management. This is where we are going to manage the devices, and as soon as it finds it, in a little bit, it will find our speaker. There it is, JBL Extreme. We select the speaker, the JBL Extreme. Connected speaker. At this point, we can manage the volume of the speaker from the remote control. That is to say, the sound of the television is going to leave through the loudspeaker, and already it will leave us for the external loudspeakers. Once this is done, and with the speaker already connected, we can go to the main menu, and everything we see on TV will be played through the speaker. A clear sign that it is connected, and if you want to know if it is connected or not easily, is to raise or lower the volume, and if above the volume appears the Bluetooth symbol, it means that this volume is currently playing through a device and not from the TV. Well guys, as you can see, it has been a super easy and super simple procedure to connect any Bluetooth device to our Hisense TV with VIDAA operating system. If you have been
In this video we will learn how to factory reset a Hisense TV with VIDAA operating system. On many occasions perform a factory reset will solve a lot of problems, either operating system errors or simply things on the TV that you are failing. As well as if, for example, you are going to have the TV stored for a long time without using it or you are going to sell it, you should also do a factory reset so that it stays as if you just took it out of the box. So let's see how to do it on this TV. To start, we will have to go to the main screen of the Smart TV, which is this one you have here, and go to the top bar, directly to the settings wheel. Once we enter the settings, we will have to go down to where it indicates support service. Once at the bottom of the help desk you press, and in the next menu you will have to go back down to the bottom where it says reset to factory defaults. In this option you return to Pulsar above, and as you see we get the following message. Reset will erase your settings and personal information you want to continue, and then we can check here if we want to reserve the existing channels of the TV and favorite channels. In this case we are going to do a total reset, so we are not going to check this option and we are going to give directly to restore. Now we put the reset pin, which in this case is indicated above, it is 5918, and important before finishing putting it that you know that this procedure will erase everything on the TV. Accounts, channels, applications that we have downloaded, everything. It is going to be the TV as if we took it out of the box just bought. So you finish setting the code, in this case 8, and as you can see the TV will restart itself to reconfigure itself and stay in factory settings. So you wait a little while and we see the next screen. And as you can see after about a minute, it has not been much more, we are back on the main screen of the Smart TV. In the first screen that comes out as soon as we turn on the TV when we take it out of the box. From this point is when you will have to perform again the initial configuration of the TV, in case for example you have reset it for some error. If you have any doubt in the initial configuration, here above I leave a direct link to the video where I do the initial configuration of the TV. And in case you have restored it to sell it or to save it, you don't have to do anything else. As you are on this screen, you turn off the TV, unplug it, and so it is completely clean for the next person who is going to use it. Well guys, so much for today's video. As always I hope I have helped you. If so, do not forget to leave me a good like, which is super important, as well as subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell to not miss anything. I for my part nothing more, As always, a pleasure, and until the next video.